Hey guys, so today I am going to be sharing with you my fat-free vegan banana bread recipe. So this is definitely one of my favorites because it honestly has the texture and the taste of a normal banana bread, but it has no fat and it has no animal product at all. So it still tastes really good, it's still soft, a really good banana bread. This recipe goes really well just on its own, or you can put peanut butter. That's definitely what I recommend. Peanut butter with a little bit of syrup or honey if you use honey. And yeah, definitely a favorite of mine. So let's get into it. Okay, so starting out with the ingredients, we've got some plain cake flour, and then I'm going to use some soy milk because I am making the vegan version, but if you want you can use cow's milk. Then I've got vanilla essence, cinnamon, baking powder, bicarbonate of soda, some white sugar, 4 overripe bananas, and some salt. So super simple ingredients. I usually have these just laying around the house. And then the first thing we're going to do is just preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius, and then we're going to line a loaf tin with some non-stick spray. Okay, so we start by taking our super overripe bananas. Yeah, the more ripe they are, the better they are for banana bread. So I usually leave them right until the point where they're almost not usable. And then you just pop them in a bowl and we're going to start mashing them. So I really try to mash them super finely just because you tend to get a better texture in the banana bread and you get a more even kind of loaf. So yeah, just try and mash them as finely as possible, and then the next thing I do is actually take the whisk and just make sure that they are super fine, and then we're going to move on to adding the next ingredients. Okay, so first I'm going to take the plain white sugar and just measure out 2/3 of a cup, and then add that to the mashed bananas. And then the next thing I'm going to do is take the milk and add 1/3 of a cup to the mix. And then we're just going to mix this up and make sure that it's well combined. And then the next thing we're going to do is add a teaspoon of vanilla essence. And then again, you're just going to mix this all up and make sure that it's well combined. Next, I have measured out 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and then 1/2 teaspoon of salt as well. So you should probably make this flour mixture separately if you want to be super proper, but I really just throw it in the bowl and hope for the best. So yes, the next thing you're going to do is mix it all together, and you want to use a whisk for this because you want to make sure that you've got no lumps in this mixture, because the last thing you want, and I've done this before, is to put it in the baking tin, bake it, and then you have a little bit of flour clumps throughout the loaf. It's honestly just a nightmare. So yes, moving on. Once that's mixed in, you can scrape down the sides just to make sure that everything is well combined, and that's basically it. It's ready to go in the baking tin. I like to just even out the top before it goes in the oven, and then it's basically ready to go. You're going to bake it for 55 minutes. And yes, it's a long time, but it's 100% worth it. And once it's done, it comes out so beautifully. Look how amazing that looks. Okay, so just use a cake tester to make sure, and make sure that the cake tester comes out clean, and then you know that it's ready. And then you're just going to let it rest for a little bit in the baking tin, not too long, just a minute or two, and then you're going to take it out of the baking tin. I kind of just loosen up the sides, and then I put it on a cooling rack. And what you want to do is leave it to cool completely before you cut it. I know it might be super tempting to have banana bread when it's still warm, but if you cut it too soon, the bottom of it comes out soggy. So try to leave it to cool completely before you do cut it. And this is the beautiful end result, an amazing, moist, beautiful banana bread that is fat-free as well as vegan. Most people never know that it's vegan when I give it to them. I do enjoy it with some peanut butter and some honey, but that's just me. You can do whatever. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.